Hello everybody, my name is Manuel Herrera and I'm with Citizens for a Better Oxnard. Now, as you all know, the city manager recently proposed some budget cuts where he says we're $9 million in the hole, and he says he needs to lay people off and close the Performing Arts Center and the Carnegie, La Colonia Library, etc. Well, I say no. You know, his proposal is just one proposal, one option, and that's close everything down, lay everybody off. We want options. We want options. So that's why I'm doing this video, to give you a different option. Now, you've heard Alex's proposal. Alex is the city manager. Well, I want you to hear Manuel's proposal. So, and it's very simple. So here's how it goes. First of all, you can't just close the doors and say, hey, we'll figure everything out later, but we're going to close everything down and lay everybody off. You can't do that. We need time. The Carnegie needs time, La Colonia Library needs time, the Performing Arts Center needs time. We need time to figure out what we're going to do. So in order to get more time, what we need is to be funded for at least another 8 months, maybe a year. So that's where my proposal comes in. So this is how it's going to work. I would say it would take maybe $2 million or so to keep funding the PAC and the Carnegie and the Colonia Library for maybe 8 months or a year. Probably $2 million, give or take. The money's there. It's in Measure O. Right now, Measure O has $17 million balance right now. Now, that money can, at the discretion of the city council, that can be moved and put into the general fund so they can fund the Performing Arts Center and so forth. It can be done. Now, that money was mainly geared to help with the parks and the streets and everything, and I get that. And we'll replenish that back. I have an idea for that as well. But in the meantime, let's just, because of the emergency, let's get some of that money, put it in the general fund, and then fund the PAC and the Carnegie and so forth. And you don't have to give the PAC all this money at once. You can give it to them in increments. You can do it every quarter for the next year, just so that they can get organized and figure out what they're going to do. Now, I'm on the board of directors for the Performing Arts Center, and we've currently been in talks with 2 organizations that are willing to step forward and help out the PAC. But we need time. We need to figure all this out. And we can't do it if you close the doors, because I guarantee you, if they close the PAC and the Carnegie and the Colonia Library, if they close the doors, they will never reopen. I don't care what they tell you. They're not going to reopen it. So the key here is we need time and we need funding. And the money's in Measure O. So just transfer the money for now. Now, how are you going to pay that money back? Well, once again, Measure O is a half-cent sales tax. So we can either put an initiative to increase that to another half cent, maybe 1 cent. Or they can create a separate sales tax where the money goes strictly to the arts or to narrow the gap in the budget. But either way, that initiative can't happen without the vote of the people. And the soonest that can happen is in March of next year. And we don't have until March, right, to figure all this out. That's why transferring some funds from Measure O to the general fund will help sustain the PAC and the Carnegie, etc. Okay? Now, if we do the initiative to add the sales tax, that's going to help us out in the future. But there's also other revenue sources. The city manager has already said that he's willing to sell some surplus buildings, properties that the city owns. So that's going to generate a few million. Let's not forget the cannabis tax. On June the 4th, the cannabis proposal is going to go in front of the city council. I say let's have them expedite that. Let's get this going so we can start getting revenue from that. Now, my understanding is there's also going to be another tax. These are all taxes. That some recent ruling just said that the cities will now be able to get revenue from taxes from companies such as Amazon and so forth, as far as sales tax for their sales and so forth. But my point is there's other sources of revenue that the city needs to go after. So there's selling the surplus buildings, the cannabis tax. Hemp is another thing. Now, hemp is not marijuana. Hemp is a product that would work wonderful in Oxnard, especially in the Oxnard fields. Our soil is perfect for hemp, and there's thousands of uses for hemp. We could literally be the hemp capital of the world. But we need the city council to be aggressive and go out there and seek these opportunities. The opportunities are there. We just need them to do that. Okay, so transfer some money from Measure O to the general fund. That helps us keep the doors open for another year. Create the extra sales tax. Now, nobody wants to be taxed, but come on, we all got to do our part. So let's just do our part. It'll be a temporary tax. It can, for so many years. It doesn't have to be permanent. Okay, but we need the city council to make these tough decisions. They don't want to get money here and put it over there because they're afraid the people are not going to like that. We need everybody to tell the city council, look, we want options. Now, my option is just one option. So maybe there's better ideas. I don't know. But let's get this going. Let's get the dialogue going. We want more options. So what do? On June the 4th is going to be the city council meeting. Now, it's a regular meeting. They're not going to discuss the budget. So we don't need that many people to show up for that, but we do want people to show up. And where we want more people to show up is on the June 5th meeting at the city council. Now, that's going to be specifically for the budget. There, we want everybody to show up. We want to pack that place. So if you show up on June the 4th to the city council meeting, and you're going to speak, let's not have too many speak, because then they're going to cut our time down to only 1 minute. So we need just, certain representatives from each organization to show up and say what we got to say. Basically that we need more time, we need more options. And if anything, tell them, hey, I'm here to support Manuel's proposal, since the city manager's proposal we don't like, right? So we need people to show up on June the 4th, but we definitely need people to show up on June the 5th. Everybody, bring your signs, bring your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, bring everybody that's packed the place. And again, key here is we want more options. We cannot have you shut everything down, lay everybody off, and then try to figure it out. No, they will never reopen these facilities if we let them shut it down. Okay? So that's my plan. Now let's get the word out. I want this to go viral. This has to go viral in Oxnard. Share this to all your friends, to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you got to do. Make sure that every single household in Oxnard hears this. And that way we all get organized. We're all on the same page. We want options. We want more time. Do not close anything down yet. You can find some temporary funding until we figure all this out. Okay? So don't forget, there's power in numbers. So let's all do our part. Let's organize. Now, if you have any questions or anything, come to Citizens for a Better Oxnard on Facebook, and that's where I'm going to be posting all this stuff and any updates and so forth. Okay, so if you haven't joined yet, join Citizens for a Better Oxnard. Let's all organize. Let's get together. All right? So we all deserve the best city that we can get. So let's do our part and let's create the city that we all deserve. Thank you so much for listening.